Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today is the day. It has finally came. The patch that has been waiting for a long time. People have been dramatic about it like always, but it is what it is. It is here, and I think it's pretty good. It's 1.7.2. What I'm going to do in this video is go through all of it real quick, just the big changes, see what's significant. I don't have too much time. My son is sleeping, taking his little nap, so I thought let's get this done. But the patch link will be down below in the description like always. And what's it called? First link in the description is a playlist with all the most updated Bannerlord content. So if you want to see more content, more videos, updates, tips, guides, whatever, it's all down below. It's getting updated frequently. I do appreciate it. Go check it out. Now let's get on to the changes. So first, like always, you have a bunch of optimization changes to various menus, missions, and overall game, with crash fixes as well, like every patch, and it's always great to see. Next, they added 5 new cape design pieces. First is a decorated leather harness. Then we have the caped leather harness. Then we have the decorated leather harness with padding. Then we have the decorated leather harness over scale, and then the decorated leather harness over mail. Cool. Looks cool. You know what I mean? It's a cool little addition. I like when they add more stuff like this to the game. It makes it a little bit more fun. But, you know, a little minor, but I thought, you know, people always love these new additions, so I thought I'd put them in the video, like always. Next, they added 4 new body armor pieces. First, the Master Crafted Southern Scale Mail Armor. Next is the Master Crafted Southern Scale over Chain Hauberk. I think that's how you say it. Then we have the Master Crafted Southern Scale over Chainmail, and the last one was the Tartan Toga. Next, they added a sorting system to the quest screen, so quests are now sorted by date started, last updated, and time due. The latest sort by selection is tracked and applied when reopening the screen. Very cool. I think it's a good addition. Next, they improved the layout of the settlement overlay, quest screens, crosshair, town management scoreboard, party screens, and party templates. So a lot of UI changes. Very good to see. Next, they added an option under the gameplay tab that allows you to determine the order in which troops should spawn. So you have 4 options. First one is default. Troops will spawn according to their position in the roster, pretty much, you know, top to bottom. Next, it was high level, which means high level troops will spawn first. Next, we have low level, which means the opposite. Low level troops will spawn first. And then we have homogeneous, which high level and low level troops will spawn in equal ratio. So it'll be a 50-50 split. Very cool. Another way to kind of boost how you do your formation, how you do your your order of battle. I think it's a good addition. Next, siege engine kills now award engineering XP instead of athletics and throwing. It makes sense, obviously. Well, kind of in a way, because engineering isn't actually the firing of the weapon. It's more of how do you build it. But I get why they did it. I think they should increase engineering and maybe athletics. I think both those would be kind of good. I think it makes sense more like that. But it's a good change, because engineering is kind of hard to get the XP, and this is another good way. Also gives a reason to actually use the siege engines, which, you know, some people use a lot of it, some people don't use it at all. So it's a good way to get people to actually get started in using them, which they're pretty fun. They're kind of hard to master, but they're pretty fun. Next, we have improvements and fixes to the campaign map AI. Alrighty, this is a pretty big one, so let's see what it's all about. So first, they increased the weight of party priorities: defensive, neutral, and aggressive. So those are the options that we got before, a couple patches before, and now they hold more weight. Pretty much, they're more important by what you choose. Good. This is what I said, by the way. I said it back then, I'm gonna say it again. They add systems, but then they build upon those systems. So when they added this system, I knew that they would build upon it, but they had to first implement this part to, see how it works out. But good to see that it's, getting more work on it. All right, so let's get to it. Parties that have defensive priority will try to defend settlements from raids/sieges and protect their territories, okay? They will not join besieger/raider armies, okay? So they will not ever go aggro. Parties that have aggressive priority will try to raid and siege settlements more often. They will not join defender/patrolling armies. Okay, so they just made it more precise. Good. Parties are now more likely to raid/siege settlements that are near their territory. Another good thing, it makes sense. You would want to protect your territory first. This was achieved by tweaking the distance score weight of the target settlement when deciding where to siege/raid. Okay, makes sense. Improve the campaign map AI to prevent party zigzag behavior, being stuck between 2 objects. Also good. Sometimes when you can actually trap a lot of AI parties if you're bigger than them in like little corners, and they're just gonna keep zigzagging back and forth. So that's good as well. They're trying to maneuver better. Next, parties that are trying to defend their settlements against besiegers will have a short-term escort behavior to a nearby stronger ally party that has the same defensive behavior. This will make them engage the besiegers together instead of being stuck in a zigzag behavior. Also good. I hope this does what it sounds like is the times when you're both running towards an enemy, you and some AI, and as soon as you attack the enemy, the AI for some reason backs away. So hopefully with this change, they will not back away and actually join you in the fight so you don't actually get destroyed. Because sometimes I see a small party, I try to help them, and they still run away even though I attacked, and we have the advantage if we both attacked. Next, they added a threshold for changing the AI party objective. Parties will change their objective less often if their current objective is logical. Good. So they will actually stick to what they're doing. Progress can actually be made by the AI. Good. And lastly, they reworked the calculation for the location of parties of the campaign map, fixing various bugs that previously occurred. For example, parties from the other side of the world could join your battle, or the same party could join an encounter twice. Okay, I kind of don't understand that one too much, but okay, if it helps the parties, that's good to see. I think it just means like some parties are way too out of their depths, and they kind of, they got to stay within their limits and not go too far. Okay, sounds good. Next, we have improved AI food management. So this actually is a pretty big one. It will make it so armies are actually more fierce than they are before. Before, you could starve armies out by just letting them chase you, give them chase, and then they starve themselves out, and then they're pretty much done for. But this is pretty big because this will make it so armies are a lot more, a lot better longevity. So armies will now take villages into account when thinking of buying food if they are starving. Before, they only did towns. Now they will actually do villages as well. Next, army members will take other army members into account while buying food at the settlements. This will not buy all the available food in the settlement if there are other starving parties in the army. What happened before is pretty much whenever an army went into a town or whatever, right? So the first person in line would get as much food as they need until they're full. The second person in line would get as much food as they need until they're full. Once you get to the fourth or fifth, let's say there's like 6 more guys and they all are starving, they're not going to get any, and therefore it's going to make them starve because the first guy's got all of it. So now they're going to distribute it a little bit better. Again, good change. Parties will give more priority to their food stocks if they have wounded troops. Okay. And parties will now on average starve less amount of time. Great. Sounds good. Next we have is elite caravans are now created from culture-based troop templates, previously out of random good troops. The elite troop template that is used when creating an elite caravan corresponds to the player's starting culture. Okay. Depending on the notable power, the AI can also create elite caravans, which likewise use elite party templates that correspond to their culture. Good. What this means is if you started the game as a Khazate, whenever you make a caravan, it will be Khazate troops on there. If you make an elite caravan, it will be elite Khazate troops, not just random troops. Cool. And if you do it if you start Vlandian, same thing. And also, like they say here, if the AI gets strong enough, they can do the same thing as well. Cool. I will be making a video. This is a good video thing that I will do. I'll make a video of every single template and what troops are inside of every single template. You guys usually like when I make those type of videos, so that will be coming up. Just thought of it, and it's a good idea. Next we have is bandit bosses in hideouts now start the fight with their weapon drawn. Again, good. It was kind of easy to kind of cheese them and kind of attack them before they even draw their weapon. Now they will be, more of a fight. Next is prisoner interactions. So this is actually a good thing. Again, it's not too much additions, but again, pretty good. So first, if they are a prisoner, you can now interact with them. You can now talk to them. And one thing that you can do is you can coax, how do you say that word? Is it coax or coax? Maybe it might be just coax. Prisoners into defecting. So pretty much you can talk to them and kind of try to convince them to defect while they're your prisoner, which will probably give you a significant bonus because obviously they might not want to be a prisoner. So very good idea on this one. And also it is now possible to ask to talk to prisoners of other parties. So another cool thing. So good possibilities that you can have with this. Better with getting more people on your side, possibly. This can increase the chances of you being able to recruit parties. So good. Next we have is a huge, so big, like such a big list of troop and equipment changes that literally TerraWorlds made a whole new separate post on their forums just dedicated to all those changes. It is a huge amount. It reworks a lot of stuff, and you might notice some changes. You know, if you watch some top tier videos on YouTube and stuff like that, or you know, you've done your research on which troop is the best, go check that list. There are changes that might change. You know, a lot of those, you know, rankings might change because there was a lot of changes. But that link will be down below in the description. Yeah, it'll be down there. Now for multiplayer, they added ranks and ranked matchmaking. Woohoo! I'm gonna start playing. I don't know exactly when, but I am gonna start playing. So they go like this. They go bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3. Then you go to silver 1, silver 2, silver 3. Then you upgrade to gold 1, gold 2, gold 3. Then it's a sergeant, then it's a captain, then it's a general, and then lastly onto conqueror. Good amount of ranks, good to see, great. Now, here's how everything's gonna work in that ranked matchmaking. So players will be assigned to a rank after 10 of elevation matches, pretty standard. You play 10 matches, then they see where they were gonna put you. Next, the number of points you gain or lose with each match depends on the average ratings of your team and the enemy team. If your team has a lower average rating than the opponent and you win, you gain more points compared to a game where the average ratings between the teams are balanced. And if you lose against a higher average rating team, you lose fewer points. So there's a couple reasons why they did this. First reason is because multiplayer isn't super popular, so obviously you're gonna have people who are very, very good, and you're gonna have people who are just starting to try it out. So to balance this out, they have to make it kind of fair in terms of if you lose against someone who's super, super good and spends a lot of time on it, you won't lose as much points than if he was to lose to you, if that kind of makes sense, because you technically should be a little bit worse than him, you know what I mean, or maybe a lot worse than him, and therefore, you know, it's just to balance it out so you don't get absolutely destroyed with your rank and then just get stuck in, like, you know, the lowest rank forever. It's a good progression system. I think it makes a lot of sense. And obviously, if you are the top player, you got to be on your toes because you're the top guy. So, good idea. Next, players are now able to reconnect to a game after a disconnect. Great addition. I think every game should have this if it's multiplayer. Players that weren't part of the match from the start can't join and replace a disconnected player mid-match. Hopefully they do change that. I think that could be good, but it's good to see that you can reconnect. Next, if you leave a ranked game, you can't queue for matchmaking games for a duration of time that increases every time you leave. You will also lose ranking points even if your team ends up winning. Okay, so they're pretty serious. If you leave, hey, there's consequences. It is what it is. Then, also, if you leave the game while in a warm-up phase, the game gets cancelled and everyone is returned to the main menu. If as the leaver, you carry the penalties already described above. That's kind of steep. I'll be honest with you. That's kind of steep. I think that you losing ranking points if you leave during the game, that's fine, right? You increase the time that you have to wait and you lose ranking points. That's fine when you leave the game. It's already started. You think you might be losing or that. You have to leave. Boom. It is what it is. You have to take that L. But I think that if you leave during the warm-up phase, it depends on I guess it all depends on the reason. You know, if you leave during the warm-up phase because you don't want to play with somebody, or, you know, you played the game before, it's weird, but I don't think you should lose ranking points. I think you should increase the duration of time that you have to wait until you queue up again. That makes sense, but I don't think you should lose ranking points for that. That's just my opinion. Next, there are separate ranks for captain and skirmish. Obviously, the different game modes in what's it called? In the multiplayer, they have different ranks. So if you are gold 2 in captain, for example, you're not going to be gold 2 in skirmish as well. You know, they all carry different things, and I'm pretty sure each one requires 10 evaluation matches. But that pretty much does it for the patch. That's pretty much it. Like always, before, they have more modding changes. They've had modding changes every single patch. Again, if that's the thing that you want to see, go down to the patch and go check it out. They always put out new modding changes every time a big patch comes out. But that pretty much does it. It's a good overall patch in my opinion. It's nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy that they added, but at the same time, the game feels refreshed. So I think it's pretty good. But let me know what you guys think. Go check out that playlist, man, you know, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.